Om Shri Ganeshaya Namo Namah. Greetings to everyone world over, all our brothers and sisters across the globe. Let it be green morning and green afternoon and green evening. Yesterday we had a World Water Day, and today, of course, is with the great martyr, the great patriotic, that is Sardar Bhagat Singh. We should remember him because today the freedom what we are enjoying, all of us in this world, these people contributed a lot to the freedom struggle and getting freedom, making India independent, young boys, and Sardar Bhagat Singh Ji takes a lead in that. Today we have got a very important and a very innovative program. It's emerging technology trends in tourism, because everybody is talking today about technology. We are adopting technology everywhere. And at present, the chat GTP also, everybody is talking the version 4 also. And then augmented reality, virtual reality, along with that metaverse. And of course, technology is seeping in to every area. Today, we will travel into the travel and tourism industry. And all of us, we will take on the vision, what exactly is happening in this industry and how the world is moving on. We will take the plunge, we will discuss, we will plan what all can go on. And dear ladies and gentlemen, today we have got a very, very distinguished guest, Engineer Dolly Bhasin ma'am. She is the founder, SmartEdge. She had been with us on earlier programs as well. She is deeply professionally, emotionally, spiritually associated with the travel and tourism industry as well. We had a couple of discussions earlier as well. So, not taking too much of time, let's all of us join and extend a very hearty welcome to Engineer Dolly Bhasin ma'am, and we take on today's journey and today's program. Ma'am, we can start, we can move on, and I would request you to kindly switch on your camera so that you can come live. If our audience, they recollect and they remember, we have done a couple of programs with you earlier as well, as far as travel and tourism is concerned. And we are going ahead with our series. And today we take on the next program in that with Engineer Dolly Bhasin ma'am. If you also recall, we have been discussing with you the compendium and the book which we have brought for you, Rethinking Tourism Post-Pandemic. It's available on our web portal. You can download from there free of cost. It's a complimentary copy. You can go on icsiindia.in. And at the same time, if you are directly or indirectly associated with the travel and tourism industry, you can also be a part of the Feast, the organization which came up in 2001. And that's basically forum of educators and skill providers for tourism. So hearty welcome to Engineer Dolly Bhasin ma'am. Ma'am, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. I'm sorry, I'm actually not able to log from the computer. So I will just take 1 minute. If you can just continue with your introduction, I'll
take your time. Take your time. Ladies and gentlemen, if you recall, with regard to the book which I was telling you, Rethinking Tourism and Repackaging Tourism, Rejuvenating Tourism Post-Pandemic, there are 15 chapters in that. 14 chapter we have already covered with you on ICSI India, our YouTube channel. You can see them any point of time. We have tried to cover all aspects of tourism over there, travel and tourism. We have gone into the complete aspects of airlines, tourism, and hospitality industry, which is the golden triangle when we talk about, because tourism is inseparable from hospitality, and tourism and hospitality cannot survive without aviation support. So all of the three together, we build a beautiful triangle, and that is trio of the tourism, hospitality, and aviation. Yesterday, if you recall, we discussed with you the tourism policy. Before that, we have also taken a couple of other areas with you, and where we have discussed in detail with you what extent is the kind of the government is looking forward to. 7th and 9th of last month, we had the Honorable Union Tourism Minister, and there's an echo from your other connection.
Yeah. I've got close that. Sorry.
So the Honorable Union Tourism Minister, if you recall, right in the run of Kutch on 7th, 8th, and 9th of last month, they had a wonderful tourism group meeting as a part of the G20, and rural tourism was the focus. Recently in the ITB Berlin, that's on 7th, 8th, and 9th, that's in Germany. International travel boards, because World Travel Mart and International Travel Boards, both the events are very important. One is in the Earl's Court, that's in London, and the second one, which is in Germany. India bagged a lot of prizes, and it was wonderful to see Secretary Tourism, Government of India, giving lots of vision and sharing lots of vision from there. With these words, we extend a very hearty welcome to Madam, our engineer, Dolly Bhasin, ma'am, and she is with us over here. And this is a very interesting topic, which I told you, because we are going to talk about technology, how it's coming in a very big way as far as travel and tourism industry is concerned. Ma'am had been associated earlier with the Stick Travel and a couple of other organizations in travel and tourism. And as and when we have interacted earlier, we found there's a lot of depth which she has got, an emotional bond with the travel and tourism, what she has. So with these words, let's extend her a very warm welcome, hearty welcome, and pleasure to have ma'am with us.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the kind words. So I'll just begin. I'm sorry I took a bit of time. My laptop was giving some problem and I logged in from the phone, but I didn't have my presentation on the phone. So thank you, sir, for the opportunity. Yes, tourism is one of my favorite areas of work. And it has been a passion to really be in the tourism sector. It is my chosen this thing. It was not my professional area. I am an engineer by profession, and when I started, I defied all normal norms and set up a company in hospitality and travel tourism. So I've been running that for last 22 years, which is mostly focused on helping the tourism industry as well as tourism, travel and hospitality industry, as well as the small and medium enterprises. Essentially, my focus had been in terms of the service sector automation, and I chose travel and tourism as one of the core areas in which I have personally tried to really learn and bring in some change in the tourism. And I'm very proud that the first tourism destination accorded by the United Nations World Tourism Organization has accorded my city, which is Udaipur, as one of the first tourism destination from India. So with that, I'll just very quickly introduce myself. After doing a lot of work in tourism, I was noticed by MasterCard and offered a MasterCard scholarship in tourism, and subsequently Nottingham University offered me a master's degree. So today I stand as a master's in tourism, as well as a gold medalist electronics and communication engineer. I also did my bachelor's of science from Mohanlal Sukhade University and a PGD sales and marketing from Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan, business administration from U21 Global Singapore, and I've done a lot of technology entrepreneurship development programs, also designing new learning environments from Stanford. Having looked at the tourism, especially the sustainable tourism, I found that there is a lot of opportunity for CSR funding to really come in the tourism sector, which is not really happening. So I did a program on CSR leadership from IICA. So that's a brief intro. Uh, what I'm going to really talk today is the emerging technology trends in the tourism industry. So I choose the background of COVID as the basis of why we really have to rethink tourism and come up with some new ways of working in tourism, especially taking cognizance to the fact that the technology is moving at a very fast pace, and we need to really adopt some of these technologies into the tourism industry. And this is a compilation of some of the work which is as recent as 2022, which is what I'm trying to really present here. So a lot of work that I have done in the last 1 year to really put together some of my thoughts into really putting and scouting for various information from all over the world with necessary kind of references. And while doing that, I use the basis of the emerging trends in tourism itself. Some of the case studies I have tried to really explain a little more in the detail, and I'd like to really share them if time permits. Please feel free to ask me anything that anybody would like to really know, but I would like to really have the questions mostly at the end of the session. So we all know that tourism has faced a severe crisis in the past, but pandemic, the COVID-19 was the real worst kind of scenario for the tourism industry. So all governments, actually the entire tourism industry came to a literal halt. And so United Nations Tourism Organization estimated by the end of 2020, the international tourism declined between 70 to 75%. That means the total tourism revenue dropped almost to the US $568.6 billion, which represents a massive loss. Now, we need to rethink, and some of the guidelines that UNWTO recommended was an action plan of 23 recovery highlights, which actually focuses on complementing the efforts to rethink tourism and to really bring the recovery of the tourism sector to really engage with innovators across through a series of challenges, innovation challenges, competitions aimed at idea generation to help tourism return to sustainable growth. So three major action points were defined: managing the crisis and mitigating the impact. Second being providing guidance to countries on policy measures and accelerating recovery measures. Also preparing for tomorrow. So as we all know that tourism is an ultimate person-to-person sector, we have to really put people first, which effectively means that we have to support the jobs and the skills, which is what UNWTO has stressed to safeguard the livelihoods of small businesses. And while looking at the future and seizing the opportunity to step up the effort so that even more people benefit from it through jobs, education, and professional development, as well as capacity building. So what UNWTO did to really scale up its monitoring efforts in the sector, focusing very specifically on the international tourism arrivals, increasing the frequency on the World Tourism Barometer, and launching of the data dashboard for COVID-19 related travel restrictions and data insights and analysis of key indicators of both inbound and outbound through a very seamlessly integrated into the various operational systems. So as tourism is one of the second largest economic both for jobs as well as for the business, it was very important that we need to really look at some of these tools and try to really make sense of the data and to be able to really bring that into our actual work. So one of the major things that came out during the pandemic with the UNWTO was that with IATA, they provided a destination tracker. That means all major world tourism destinations, there's a dashboard that you can actually track on a real-time basis, which gives you a requirement analysis of the travel and the measures that are in place at the destination. This was more towards safeguarding the people traveling to any country, looking at what is the COVID situation, etc., and travel restrictions in every country, every destination. But I think that's something that we need to really look at in a more detail to really. So when we talk about rethinking tourism after COVID, I see three areas: low impact on environment, technology enhanced tourism, and safe tourism. Safe tourism, both for safety of the tourist as well as the employees. So let's now look at the technology trends emerging in the industry. So technology always has played a very crucial part in tourism and travel industry. It helps the businesses from day-to-day operations while improving the customer experience. And for this reason, the hotels, airlines, restaurants, and other companies must keep in pace with the latest technology within the industry. Let's look at some of these. So I have a huge list, but I would spend more time on the later part of this thing and very quickly go through this thing. I have compiled some videos which are also available, and the links are there. So maybe, people can really go through it at ease if I'm not able to really take that video completely. But these are mostly 2 to 3 minutes video. So one of the most important area is the voice search and voice control. Robots, contactless payments, virtual reality, AI chatbots, cybersecurity measures, IoT, Internet of Things, recognition technology, augmented reality, artificial intelligence, big data, metaverse and travel, NFTs and tourism industry, video gaming, transmedia storytelling, and learning through interactive games. So as we all know, we are using smartphones, we are using smart speakers and AI assistants. All these are basically the technology trends where voice is becoming a very important way to interact with your customer. And this is where we need to really give a lot of focus, especially in the travel tourism sector, considering that we need to really revive our economy and also look at how the voice control can play to really create a better experience. When I say better experience, means that you talk to the person in the language that he or she understands. And this is not today possible through various programs, various initiatives, and I won't go into detail because this is something that everybody today has been using for some time, and there's a lot which is available in general domain. I won't spend too much of time, but I have a quick video that I'd like to really show in terms of this particular area.
Today, people interact with and rely on a variety of different devices and types of technology to help them navigate the trials and tribulations of daily life. Thanks to Amazon's Alexa, it's easier than ever to ask questions and get answers. Those times when all you really need is to know something fast, no matter where or what the situation is. Now serving your travel needs is the Expedia skill for Amazon Alexa. Let's take her for a spin.
Alexa, launch Expedia.
Welcome to Expedia. You have an upcoming trip to Las Vegas on November 29th. I can help you get details on your upcoming trip, add a rental car, or check your loyalty points. What can I do for you?
Get flight details.
You have an upcoming flight in 18 days. Your non-stop flight from San Francisco International to McCarran International departs at 9 a.m. on November 29th. You are flying Virgin America from Terminal 2. You are scheduled to land in Las Vegas at 10:30 a.m. local time on November 29th. Can I help you with anything else?
Yes, reserve a car.
Okay, I have economy, full size, luxury, standard SUV. Which type of car would you like?
Standard SUV.
I have 3 total prices for a standard SUV.
So I'll stop there just to kind of cut short this thing, because this is the kind of integration that we need in the travel tourism industry, where we are able to really get a hands-free kind of experience, to be able to really know everything through the language that we understand, which really takes us through a very different tourism experience right from the travel booking itself. The second other important area that's really shaping up technology side in the tourism side is the robotics. Robots are being used almost everywhere and anywhere in the domain. For example, in hotels, robots can be used for concierge-like roles, helping to really shift the luggage of the people directly to the rooms that they have booked, and all this is automated and secure. So within the restaurant, robots can potentially have a role for food preparation as well as food service. In airports, they can detect concealed weapons, while some manufacturers are using robotics to create luggage cases and intelligently follow you. That means you've you've landed on an airplane, your luggage will be really picked up from the conveyor, and you also have that luggage actually follow you as you really move. So these are certain technologies which are giving a lot of ease to the work that is mundane, and also it gives an experience which is greatly enjoyable.
What's
experience.
going on, friends? Rich DeMiro
So
here,
let's
Rich
see.
on Tech. I'm here at the brand new Sheraton Los Angeles San Gabriel Hotel, and let me tell you, this place has some amazing technology. You've seen, by the way, this place is all brand new. So you've seen this, right? You know what these are. The luggage cart. Well, this pretty much steps it up 1,000 notches, because they have robots that take your luggage to your room, robots that lead you around the hotel, and robots that can deliver room service. And maybe in the past, you've seen those little room service robots that are kind of small. They might fit like a bottle of soda in there. No, these are amazing. You got to check them out. So the first robot here at the hotel is this. It's called a Wayfinder. So you literally, it's at the entrance to the hotel. You say where you want to go. Let's go to their new steakhouse. Can I take you there now? Yes. So this robot will lead me to the steakhouse. And you can see this is a pretty sizable robot. So it says, please stand clear 5 feet in front of me while I'm moving. So if someone was to get in front of this robot, it will definitely stop. Now, here's the really cool part about this robot, because you're following it. Not only is it going to take you to the steakhouse, it's also, go over here, since I know where this is, it's also going to open these doors wirelessly. So here we go. Let's see if it sends the signal to the doors. Look at that. So not only did it lead me to the steakhouse, thanks, robot, now I can go right in. And place looks pretty good, so we'll have to check that out later. All right, let me show you the other robot over here. This one is going to deliver food to your room. Let's walk over. It's a long walk. See, that's why they have robots to do this. All right, so Fred is going to open up this one. This is a room service robot. So, normally you'd have someone come to your room, bring you the food. Well, this one, watch this. Inside, you've got spaces for your food, and you just pull your food out when it'll call your room when it gets there. Pull your food out, bring it into your room. You can leave a tip inside if you want. I don't know, maybe the robot will take it. And then you close it up, and it will be on its merry way. Thanks, Fred.
So this is how the robots are going to play a very significant role to improve the tourism experience, right from the airlines to the hotel to the restaurant and so on and so forth. The third important area where ICT is going to make a huge impact, it's already, we are seeing it in general life, but contactless payments are going to really make the experience of really getting into the tourism much, much simpler and a really memorable experience. especially contactless payment, which started as a convenience, can be very easily used for tourism marketing, which is basically in the wake of coronavirus, people are wanting to go contactless. So this is providing a huge impetus to really make this happen. And let me show you a video on what is happening.
Contactless payment cards and services like Apple Pay are super useful. We use them every day for everything from buying that coffee in the morning that helps us put up with people to getting on public transport on our way to work or uni or school or whatever you do in your life. But what exactly happens when you tap your card on your phone on that reader and you get that beep? Well, the whole process of steps that just happens in that fraction of a second is defined in a standard called EMV, named after the three companies that founded it: Europay, MasterCard, Visa. While there was earlier standards and technologies in countries like Germany and France, this standard is the, well, standard. These predecessors have pretty much been superseded. The standard defines a couple of things. Firstly, the hardware that needs to be on the card, the hardware that the readers need to have, and the software and communication protocols between the two of them. If you have a close look at your card under a light, you can see that under the chip there's, well, a chip, a tiny little processor and a piece of memory. Connected to this chip is a coil that receives power from the reader to run it, as well as act as antennas to transmit and receive data from the reader.
So for the want of time, I'll just skip this because now this is where we are leading to. But what's really happening further is that there is an acceptance of not only contactless payment, but also crypto being used as a currency, which is otherwise not really happening. But there are travel sites which are started to really take crypto as a currency for booking as well as for marketing purposes. So the fourth important area is the virtual reality. Virtual reality has been an emerging technology in a number of different industries. It has shown its great impact, but it has a lot of potential in the tourism sector, especially when you want to have an ability to experience a particular destination sitting in the comfort of your house. You can do that. This can be very effectively used for marketing destinations which are unknown and also which have a lot of potential to engage with the tourist virtually and make sure that they are so enticed to really go and actually visit it once they have the choice. Two major areas where VR is making a great impact. One is basically to experience the virtual hotels virtually or the destination virtually. But more importantly is a 360-degree tour of a particular city. I actually had a very good video for Udaipur, but unfortunately that's not really getting integrated into the presentation because it's too big. So I've just taken a virtual reality tour of London City to really showcase the point in question.
Hi, and welcome to London. My name is Peter, and I'm going to show you around to all the great hotspots of this city, like the Big Ben behind me, the Westminster Abbey on the right of you, and many more. So, come follow me. The tower in front of you is called the Big Ben, one of the most striking and well-known tower clocks in the world. In fact, the Big Ben is not the clock itself. It is actually the name of the big bell inside the tower, and its official name is the Great Bell. It was built in 1859 and is one of the most prominent symbols in the United Kingdom. Another great symbol is this 1,000-year-old church, the Westminster Abbey. It has been used as a venue for many famous and royal weddings, like that of Prince William and Kate Middleton. It's also the final resting place for many great Brits, like Darwin, Newton, and Dickens. The entrance fee is 20 quid.
So this gives a glimpse of what is the kind of opportunity space that we have. India has so many such great spots that are not visited by most of the tourists. There's a huge, humongous amount of opportunity to really create such experiences which are very, very immersive. The fifth most important area is the AI chatbot. Now, AI chatbot is something that we've all been using now with ChatGPT that everybody is trying on. I am not really going to spend too much of time in terms of really explaining what chatbots are because we have all using it. But I'd like to really showcase a video in which how AI technology has been integrated into a tourism context. So this is a chatbot called Sam, your pocket assistant, and this is by a company.
Mark has booked a business trip to Paris, so Sam adds it to his list of travel plans. The night before travel, Sam sends Mark the weather forecast. It's predicted to rain quite a lot, so Mark knows to pack his umbrella. A few hours before his flight, Sam asks Mark if he needs transport to airport, in case he hasn't already arranged it. Sam calculates both the estimated time to airport and cost of the travel options. Needing a taxi, Sam connects Mark with a local service, an approved supplier of his organization. As soon as Mark lands in Paris, Sam directs him to baggage claim number 3, so that he can grab his bags and get out of the airport. Sam again offers Mark a car to the hotel he booked. Mark can always call a local ride from inside his itinerary. Sam also provides a guide on Paris, containing useful info on orientation from the airport, local transport, currency, restaurants, and even sightseeing, should he get some spare time.
So this is how chatbots have been deployed by the tourism sector, and there is a lot of scope for the same coming to much more integrated kind of setups for each individual personalized travel, personalized service, personalized experience to the tourist. The sixth most important ICT or technology emerging trend is the cybersecurity measures, because cybersecurity is one of the major focus area after a lot of scams, a lot of frauds in terms of booking, frauds in terms of the financial transactions, especially on international travel. So there are a lot of work that is actually happening behind the scene, which we might not be really aware of in terms of cybersecurity, because it is being done more at a systemic level. But we need to be aware of that there are things which are there in the cybersecurity area that every individual, especially who is taking online booking, needs to take care of it, very specifically related to the phishing attacks and the ransomware attacks. Also, you need to really build proper hardware and software security in your system so that you are not affected by these kinds of cybersecurity threats. Also, in the travel tourism industry, in terms of cybersecurity, one needs to really look at the data protection law. You have to really conform to and comply to the data protection laws, because the laws are becoming very, very stringent, and all marketeers, especially in the tourism sector, need to be cognizant of the fact that you have to really take care of the various laws in different countries. The seventh most important area is the Internet of Things. Internet of Things is nothing but basically trying to really give an internet address or a voice to the non-connected devices. So you have so many devices which are not available to really exchange data through any kind of mechanism. So what Internet of Things does is really provides a sensor to pick up that data from the local machine which is not on internet, and to be able to push that data onto the internet. So you have a seamless connected kind of scenario where you are having devices which are completely interconnected to give you a seamless experience. For example, the moment you walk in, you just saw in the robotic presentation that the moment the person walks in, the doors open automatically and so on. This is basically through the Internet of Things. So this is especially very, very useful at the airports. And just to give you a glimpse of it, SITA is the world's largest travel service provider across the
rise of
globe.
the connected traveler offers multiple opportunities for airports to create a more seamless, personalized journey. At check-in, SITA's kiosks are already processing passengers faster and more securely. They can also be used to offer other services like priority lane access, and since SITA common use solutions are cloud-enabled, deployment is quick and you only pay for what you need when you need it. Bags are moving faster too. SITA's self-service bag drop system lets passengers tag and drop bags in around 30 seconds, while the introduction of biometric technology into passenger processing is cutting out the time-consuming document checking at security. To create a more personalized journey, you need to connect with passengers. Using beacon technology, airport apps can share location-based information as they pass through the airport, such as flight details, retail offers, and wayfinding maps. And with SITA's Common Use Beacon Registry, beacon-specific data can also be shared with all airport stakeholders. Better still, SITA media kiosks let you tap into new revenue opportunities, offering passengers the option to buy and download movies, magazines, or even lounge passes direct to their own devices. Elsewhere, our flight information display system can provide accurate, timely information and display targeted advertising. But to make a real difference to the passenger experience, you need a better understanding of passenger behavior. SITA's Business Intelligence Portal lets you aggregate, analyze, and access real-time information on the go. You can now make faster, better, more informed decisions, reacting to passenger flow conditions at hotspots, gate changes, and flight.
So you see that the kind of experience that people have is far, far more seamless, as well as great experiences bring more tourists. So this is where ICT has the technology has a great potential to really transform. And these, if we do not have some of these systems, we need to really make sure that we start really going towards it. The other most important area is the recognition technologies, and I won't really spend more time on it because this is something that we all understand. It's the recognition technology which will basically allow to screen people who are already, in the database, and to be able to verify their backgrounds, and if there are some people who are of dubious this thing, they can be kind of taken off the main queues, and the ones who are already recognized can pass through. So you've seen that in the past screen, and I'm not going into details about it. So we've already talked about the Internet of Things, but augmented reality. Now this is another area where AR, augmented reality as it is known, is very similar to the virtual reality, but this basically involves augmenting a person with its surrounding rather than replacing it. So one of the major plus points of this is that this is a particular technology trend which is much cheaper than VR, and the users who really are the tourists normally carries a mobile phone, so it's very mobile centric kind of this thing, and it gives you an opportunity to do a lot of things to yourself in the tourism environment to really kind of find where you are, what is that you are needing, and what is the kind of so let's have a quick look at how it can make a difference in the tourism. But this is how we imagine it, and if we can imagine it, we can build it, and if we can build it, we are, and that is what all I've been doing in SmartEdge, really create those frameworks where we can then start building products around it to really So if you permit me, my internet is giving problem. I'm stopping my video.
Hello, Eleanor. I hope you will enjoy your hotel concept trial this weekend. Remember to turn in your assignment by next Monday. EHL's hospitality partners are counting on your feedback before going to market.
So this is a video created by one of the university students, and how hospitality will be really working in the future. So same way, artificial intelligence, apart from the robots, AI can also be used, and apart from chatbots, it can be used in much more inclusive manner through ability to deliver rapid response for the problems and the queries which are not really programmed in the chatbots. You can still get, and we've seen that with the ChatGPT, and a lot of people are creating these tools which can allow you to build your own booking, travel booking AI based solution. And this is where we are moving in the technology adoption in the AI space in the tourism. So I'm just sharing a snatch bot, which is basically you can create a booking travel template for travel companies who can actually tailor their own product. So this is a product where even if you don't know the technology, it allows you to seamlessly develop something with a few click of button. And this is all being done automatically. This is the kind of conversational, as you have a conversational experience, you get a similar kind of experience on the developing your booking app. The 12th point that I'd like to really bring out is the big data. Big data is very important for tourism management. In fact, it is a fact of life that almost all companies need to successfully deploy their own data collection techniques. And to be able to really make sense of the data, they need to actually put the data on the cloud and segregate that data to really make more sense of it. And one of the biggest sense that the data can really bring is to improve the personalization. where travel companies can have that data about the person and personalize their experience based on their past engagement. The other valuable use of the data is to analyze the current business performance. In particular, hotel owners can use big data for revenue management purposes and the historic occupancy rates. When the demand is predictable, pricing and promotional strategies can be optimized. So again, a short video. So this is a company, Orange Business Services, which has been working on this thing. And there is a quick video to really showcase how it is done.
Mark is head of development at a big hotel company. His industry is being disrupted by a new trend of private individuals offering rooms at their homes online. To enhance his offering, he intends to implement a solution that can predict hotel occupancy so that rates can be optimized according to demand. Mark has several sources of information for his forecasting tool, including the company's information system and data from the web, such as the weather and the school holiday periods in other countries. Mark asks his IT team to launch experiments on the subject. The team is familiar with data processing, but doesn't have any experience with big data. The project team approaches Orange big data experts for training in the use of these technologies. They can launch a calculation cluster quickly using the MapReduce service system. In a few minutes, the infrastructure is created and the teams just have to load their scripts and their data records and wait for the results. Once this initial test has been completed, the team can turn off the test infrastructure and start work with developer partners in the development of the final. At this stage of the project, Orange experts support the team with implementing the flows of secure data between the company's IS, third-party sources, and the big data infrastructure. Once the application has been finalized, Mark entrusts Orange with the operating of their solution. Orange guarantees availability, security, and performances. Thanks to the collaborative work between the project team and Orange Business Services, the company was able to improve expertise on big data technologies, access infrastructures suitable for each stage of their project, and outsource the operation of the finalized application to focus on data analysis. Result, the company can now predict occupancy rates in hotels and optimize management.
So this is a growing trend, and I think we need to really see how we adopt it more to really improve the travel and tourism experiences, both from gathering the data on the ways in which tourists are arriving into a particular destination or a particular city, and what they are doing, how they are. So there are multiple data points from where they can get the data from hotels, from the travel booking sites, and so on and so forth. So one needs to really kind of start doing that more at a systemic level at destination management companies. Now that's the trend that's actually happening, that we have tourism management or DMCs, the destination management companies, which basically look at the destination as a whole and all those features which are related to tourism. All the data points are collated, and then there is a third-party service through which you can get this data processed. So the most important area is what I'm now going to cover is the metaverse. Metaverse in the travel and tourism sector is going to really be a game changer. It's still very early days for tourism companies to really adopt it, but I'll show you through the video as to what's really happening these days. So what Metaverse is doing is it expands on the virtual reality and augmented reality technology and providing a digital environment where social interactions can take place. This allows users to interact with each other also while exploring the digital recreations of the travel destinations. Let's have a quick look.
How the metaverse will transform the travel industry.
The metaverse is the next evolution of the internet, which creates more immersive experiences using virtual and augmented reality. And this will transform the travel industry and start from virtual travel to enhancing real travel experiences with virtual and extended and augmented reality. You can now put your headsets on and travel anywhere in the world. Be anywhere with no trains, no planes, no lines, and no passports. This will offer huge opportunities, but here are some other ways the metaverse will transform travel. You can try before you buy, so you can experience resorts before you even go there using virtual reality. So for example, the Anantara Digu resort in the Maldives is offering this, so you can go there and walk around in VR, and many of those you can actually experience with your phone or tablet, so you don't even need a headset to experience the resort before you go. You can now book travel in VR. So some agents and hotels are encouraging their customers to book trips or hotel stays in VR, in a VR world through platforms like Amadeus, Navitaire and SkyNav, rather than clicking on a mouse or tapping on a screen. Many travel providers, from trains to planes and airlines, are now offering in-flight entertainment in virtual reality. At the moment, this is usually in business and first class, but this will surely become the norm, where we can experience and completely enter a different world. Especially someone scared of flying, they can be in a completely different world during their flight, for example. Once you go to a destination, you can then have guided tours using augmented reality, so using your phone, using augmented reality glasses that will give you guided city tours and more explanation about certain things. Or when you go to museums, you can now get additional information. Augmented reality will also give us more immersive destination experiences. So when you go into a hotel resort, for example, augmented reality can guide you to certain places, can give you descriptions. So instead of having to look at a map to find restaurants and pools, AR can simply guide you to those places. If you want to learn more about any of these super exciting trends.
So this is a sneak preview of what's really happening, and these are actually happening. So we need to really catch up with it if we really want to be in the game. The other important trend that we see is the NFTs. NFTs is going to make a huge impact in the tourism sector. NFTs are a significant technology trend in general, but also in the travel tourism sector. All stakeholders must become familiar with. NFTs are digital assets that exist on blockchain and represent unique digital items. They are often associated with digital art, and some in the industry are already partnering with local artists in mutually beneficial ways. NFT technology can also power customer loyalty schemes, as well as it can be used for fundraising in a transparent manner. I've already seen people really pooling in money to really take a trip, pooling money from different sources to really make sure that they have the right experience as a group. So this is something that actually provides a very unique opportunity to really engage with the local artist and the tourism community to add another. So currently, if you really look at the sales of the arts and artifacts in the tourism sector is just about 2%. And this goes like completely unnoticed, but there is a potential to actually outgrow the amount of spending that a tourist does by being able to engage them prior to the actual tourism this thing, but to be able to really buy those things that they want. And it's already started to happen in certain countries that you are not only buying the trinkets but also personalizing it to your choice, and that let's say, for example, t-shirts, if you are going to Goa, you can actually kind of get your personalized t-shirt for Goa, and it will be available the moment you really land there with you. So rather than having a post shopping experience, you're actually being able to really do that through a NFT, the art form that you want, and the very, very highly personalized experience. Also, the customer reward points to engage more and more with a particular tourist to really make repeat purchases, and recording the transactions. The customer reward programs are being built by the tourism organizations. This now, once transferred to NFT, you have a continuous recording of it, which is immutable, in the sense that that's available in a public or a private network, which cannot be really deleted, which cannot be kind of compromised with. And there's a huge potential to make a lot of sense of the data and use it effectively for marketing purposes. Now, there's another trend which NFT in tourism is, which is the fundraising, where there is a new opportunity which is focused on creating of new ownership models. For example, if you have a new resort, now rather than selling the whole a resort has, let's say, 30 rooms, so rather than selling the ownership of the resort could be 30 different people, and they themselves start kind of contributing towards. So they're making more money by really promoting those individual assets that they have. So your marketing expenses are much reduced, and you're still able to really. So this is a very different concept where the what we call tokenization, where the ownership is basically divided into multiple set of people, or if it is the other way around, that customer, the tourists themselves can pool in resources to really go to a particular tourist destination. And these are the things that we are going to see much more happening by the Gen Z. The other major trend is the video gaming. Now, video gaming has a lot of potential. Film and television have been traditionally used for tourism marketing, but the potential of the video games was very overlooked. The novel era of marketing basically involves an interplay between experiential factors and the gaming experience, and this may contribute in one intention to visit a particular destination. So let's say, for example, there is a game called a video game called Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which basically allows you to really engage with people and covertly help them to immerse so deeply into the game, and the connection to the characters, the sense of real world kind of engagement, and this then the gaming experience makes it the people so immersively involved with that particular destination that at the end you really feel as if you are there. You are not just a part of the game, but you are actually. And this particular product has increased a lot of tourism opportunities in Greece. So these are the kind of engagements which really make a lot of difference in terms of how you really use the level of freedom, the emotion, the immersion, and interactivity together to really bring about what is called emotional appeal and an engagement with the various characters of the game to make them much more attracted to the particular destination. Similar to the virtual tours, gamers are are defined like a potential tourist who can find experiential marketing messages of the destination, which are in the in-game location. And then you can actually use that to really evaluate whether the person is interested in that tourism destination or not. So these are some of the dynamics which are used in the video game related tourism, where the level of immersion, level of freedom, connection to characters, that is being the hero. So when you do something, you get some points, you get some badges and so on and so forth. So there is a lot of engagement and the hero sense that you really kind of gain. And it looks very real when they are really participating in the game. And the general perception is that they would like to visit those places and actually be there. I won't go into more details about this. Another option which is happening, which is a technology-enabled mechanism, which is a transmedia storytelling. Now, what transmedia storytelling is a practice of designing, sharing, and participating in cohesive story experience across multiple traditional and digital delivery platforms for entertainment, advertising, marketing, or social change. Any combination of media can be used to do this, including movies, TV, online video, web app, video games, blog entry, radio, and advertisement. However, the principle of transmedia storytelling in marketing context are broadly similar to any other entertainment context. So there is a coherent story which is communicated to the audience across multiple media. Each platform has a value as a self-contained experience. Each platform makes a unique contribution to the story, and the shared components such as character, setting, themes, aesthetics, similarities, and lore are used to link all of these platforms. And we've seen in the past how this has been deployed in Harry Potter's books. So there's a Harry Potter TV series, there is a game, there is a promotion, and all this actually kind of led to promote the Edinburgh destination for tourism. So there are quite a lot of examples that we've seen in the past which have used this medium, but now I think we'll see more and more of merging of transmedia storytelling and the metaverse to really bring in a very real life kind of what we call phygital world, where you actually kind of bring in an experience which both physically you can experience it through the gaming techniques, through this thing, and also digitally experience it through the digital mediums like AR, VR, etc. The last but not least is promoting tourism through learning programs. Now, the most important reason why we travel is to really experience the culture, experience the local, engage with the local community, find out more about that particular destination that we are visiting. Unfortunately, it is not very easy for getting that information. So there are learning programs which are used to really develop the community-based tourism, where these learning programs are deployed for developing sustainable tourism through local communities. Communities that participate in community-based tourism are strong, resilient, and ready to show travelers their culture. It's a growing niche segment, and as more and more travelers are looking for authentic experiences that create benefits locally. So I've had an opportunity to kind of experience this firsthand. We've developed films for nature walks and biodiversity at the Corbett for Corbett Hideaway. This project incidentally won a lot of acclaim. And in 2001, I had done this. It was a huge success where we actually created a film to really show the biodiversity which is available in the Corbett National Park, and use that as a marketing material, as a promotional material, and also engage the local people, people who really knew all the trees. There are a whole lot of biodiversity available in that area, both in terms of the flora and fauna as well as in terms of the wildlife. So with that, I end the session. I think it's a long session. I probably kind of have missed out some of the areas which are very commonly available, but these are the ones that I felt that can bring about a significant change in the technology, the technology, if it's adopted very well within the tourism sector. So thank you very much. And I've been working on this through this initiative called SmartEdge, where we help to integrate the learning, innovation, and acceleration of such ideas into actual practice by the small and medium enterprises through startups and so on and so forth. So happy to answer any questions if there are.
Thank you very much, ma'am. In fact, people enjoyed so well. You have given so much of information, and particularly the videos, they make it very, very interesting, the whole session. Now, there's a couple of things which people are basically, if you see it over here, which have come. Can we close the presentation, ma'am?
Yeah, sure.
Now, one part, people say that, is there any statistics available? How many apps or how many startups are there in travel and tourism in India? Is there any stats available on that? I think that
unfortunately, no. Unfortunately, we have very limited this thing because the IT ministry tracks all the IT products in general, except for travel tourism. The tourism sector only tackles the tourism companies. They don't have any segregation of IT companies. Same is true in the Startup India. Startup India tracks these companies, the IT companies which are in travel tourism sector, as travel tourism companies. They don't track it as a IT company. So it's only from what you call inference that you can really make out as to what are the ones which are common in these two lists that you can figure out, or if you know the people in this thing. And that's true across the globe. Actually, across the globe, the demarcation of having a tourism based startup, and because that demarcation of actually an IT company or a tourism company is now so well integrated that every company who is a tourism company is having an IT base, and almost all these apps are part of the thing. There are only very few companies which are only IT service providers. They are more towards the tourism service provision. They might be doing only a small portion of it, but then they are handling the tourism rather than the so I'm sorry, there is very less information publicly available, but that could be a good point that your organization can actually do.
We can work together. We can work together on that. Was one of the point, ma'am. And secondly, like the edtech platforms, when you talk about, like you have got Byju's, you have got Vedantu, you have got a couple of other, Coursera, like that. Are there any, is there any pool of, or is there any setup, like you have a travel agents association, tour operators association, tourist transporters association, hotels, FHRI, HAI and all. I was just thinking that, is there any edtech platform pool in our country? Those are dealing with travel and tourism. Hospitality, you will get a couple of them. I know it very well. But with regard to travel and tourism, are there any edtech platforms? Because you're also deeply associated with tourism. So that could be another area
Yeah.
which comes to the mind that we should work on to?
Right. So just to give you the ITTM, actually we worked when I was managing Tradewing Institute of Management and Tradewing Infotech. I worked in alliance with getting the 21 courses developed on travel and tourism exclusively, and this is not hospitality, this is purely travel and tourism for internet-based delivery, which includes foreign exchange. How do you handle foreign exchange? How do you really prepare the tourist guides? Comprehensive program to really clear the IATA exams, comprehensive program to really how to create the cargo handling, and so on and so forth. So I mean, almost 21 programs, and at least some of them were first in the world that we actually worked on, providing a logistics management program for the tour operators, travel operators, for the cargo segment, which was just not existent anywhere. Same is true with the foreign exchange. Foreign exchange handling, people didn't know how to do it, and there were a lot of course, Sabre and so the parent company AMR, with them I developed a program which was for the first consolidation of the hotel and tourism guides for 600 hotels and about 100 odd cities in India, and this is quite some time back. AMR bought that company. I initiated that project through a startup, and then they bought over the rights, and it's a reservation network. It's integrated into the reservation network of Sabre. Likewise, American Express has a huge amount of collation of specialized programs for hotel and travel industry, which is more trade focused. Very specifically how to use, and Amadeus has the same. Amadeus, Sabre, American Express, these have a lot of programs which are there. In a single place, if you ask me, I don't think that there is a very good compilation. But during my program on designing learning environments, I did a prototype of e-tourism, learning e-tourism. So all these things that I'm talking about, they created a whole set of program prototype as to this is what we can do to really help people understand how technology will be integrated into tourism. So those kinds of frameworks are available, but there is not much. So this is probably the first time that I'm really bringing about such kind of in-depth area in the use of these things. And one of the things which is the reason why people are not able to really work on is that free content which is publicly available is just not available. So I've used the technique of really giving the references and making sure that they are given the right reference for every video that I use, and I try to use not more than 2 minutes of video. And especially for the courses, we try to really see if we can get the permissions in writing from them. But for this particular case, I've not really done to that great extent, but I've used the reference material, and that's basically possible to really use it when you're using it for academic purposes and not for any commercial purpose.
There are a couple of things in mind, but due to the paucity of time, I'm not taking up, because technology plays a very important role for all of us in travel and tourism. And I still recall and I still recollect 1988-89, when I, along with my team, we drafted the MBA tourism program, and we set up the IITTM that time in a small building in Delhi that was taken from the defense. On an experimental basis with the DGR, Directorate General Resettlement, we did a training program for retiring defense officers, how they can become the HR component as far as travel, tourism, and hospitality is concerned. And I still recall very, very pleasant way, 300 retiring defense officers became HR head in the hospitality industry in India at that point of time. So what comes over here is today when we are talking about G20, we are talking about travel and tourism. Honorable Prime Minister is talking about 5 trillion economy. Few days back, Honorable Prime Minister addressed and he interacted with all the tourism ministers of the country. So the priority is given by the Prime Minister, and his vision is very clear that travel and tourism has got a tremendous potential. Railways bringing a lot of new trains, which are Ambedkar Circuit, Vivekanand Circuit, and Ramayan Circuit, and couple of things are coming up. Northeast is also having a tremendous pull onto that. The most important person in travel and tourism, what I have learned in a very humble way in the last 40 years, if we are looking forward to repeat tourism, if we are looking forward to people should come to our country once again, like you have showcased today, I think the most important person is who gives the information about the country, who talks about the country, whether it's a cultural heritage or anybody. Should we work out a strategy to have a digital program, whether you talk AR, you talk VR, you talk metaverse, you talk about chat GPT, whatever we are talking about today, why not to develop a digital program for tourist guides in India? Because they are the most important link. Because ultimately, what are we selling? Dreams. We are the dream merchants. And we are selling over there एक ख्वाब दिखा रहे हैं, उस ख्वाब को हकीकत में बदल रहे हैं. ये आमेर फोर्ट है, ये फोर्ट कैसा है, आप सोचिए यहाँ पत्थर कैसे लाए होंगे, किस तरीके से बनाया होगा, ये पानी का एक बड़ा सा टैंक है, टूरिस्ट के ग्रुप को उधर लेकर गए, and you just show them all those places. Why not to work out a strategy, ma'am? Once you have been so deeply associated and you are from the engineering background, our chamber would be more than happy. Forget about everything. Let travel trade take care of the things, travel agents, tour operator, tourist transporter, tourist excursionist, everybody, because there's going to be the new role, they all will adopt Amadeus, Galileo, and IATA and other things we have talked about. Why not to work out the entire technology we should bring for the tourist guides and let them package and let them give and let them showcase the entire tourism through technology, the best possible way to every visiting tourist. How do you look at that?
So I fully agree with you, and that's something that I've been doing for the last 20 years. And I launched my company with a magazine, online magazine, the first online magazine probably in tourism way back in 1999. And I used multimedia, this thing where I was doing a travel show on Doordarshan, and also combined that with physical interface with 40 hotels that I really worked with to really create that information pool for 13 destinations, and promoted them as unknown destinations. So this program was called Unknown Destinations, and my magazine was called Indian Hospitality. And what we did was to combine the two, in the sense that I would really feature one destination every month, and I will also really bring in all the aspects of it. What is the shopping experience? What is the heritage experience? What is there for children in each city or each destination, and so on and so forth. Now this created a lot of interest all over the world, and I take a lot of pride that I actually took it up purely from one point of view, that the world tourism was 0.2 at the time when I started with it, and by the end of 3 years that I had given myself to really work on this, I'm very proud that the statistics was 2%. So I said that I'll work till I am able to really bring in a radical change in the country. And I chose two particular states, which is Rajasthan and Uttarakhand, and little bit of Himachal, and worked through almost all kinds of working with tourist guides. We're working with hotel owners, working with the tourist content providers, and also the education system. So that's basically where I won the international award from MasterCard, being one of the most innovative pursuer in the pursuit of promoting India as a tourism destination. And my master's thesis in tourism was also on building capacity building of Indian tourism. So I got my degree for that. So I am very passionate to really keep working on it. So much so that I became the managing director of Tradewing Infotech and pursued this thing. And we brought in a lot of change in the country, but then working in a company in this thing, I could not really go all out to work with other competitors. So I had to kind of forgo that, and I'm not doing it at a personal level. So I'm concentrating more on the next 10 years, what is going to really be there in terms of this thing. And I already have that experience of handling it 20 years back, so I can do that again with what's going to come up in the next 10 years. And I'll be very, very happy if I can really partner with your organization to really take it to the next level, because that's a passionate area, and I believe that I understand a little bit of it, and I think I have some amount of capability that I've acquired in tourism, as well as I have enough in the IT sector. So to put those things together is the area that I have been working, and I'll continue to work till I am able to really make India as the most favorable destination in the world. And G20 is one big opportunity space. I was in I'm so proud that G20 Sherpa meet, the first one happened in Udaipur, and in the room that I actually helped create the experience. That was one of the first VR experience that we created, which actually promoted the Darbar Hall in a big way. And today almost every celebrity, when he gets married, will have one or the other party there. So
great. Thank you. It's very encouraging and very enlightening. All the other participants who join us regularly, that's a pleasure. But today we have got Navjot Kaur from Government College, that's a B.Ed College, Sector 20. Hearty welcome. You have posted 3 views: personalizing passenger journey with the wearable and Internet of Things, automating actions with the voice and robotics, and then you have also mentioned contactless payments. Thank you, Navjot. It's really pleasure to get your views also over here. Now, there are two recommendations we make before we close today's session. Number one, let's start thinking about how we can basically integrate technology and the tourist guides of India. The ultimate delivery boys and girls, those are right over there to showcase India the best possible way. That's what comes to the mind that we would like to take on. That's one. The second part which comes over here is when tourism is the integral part, because tourism has got history, tourism has got culture, tourism has got cuisine, tourism has got heritage, tourism has got souvenir. You name anything, it is directly or indirectly related to tourism. Why not domestic tourism should be integrated part of school education instead of having a separate vocational education, like personal hygiene, personal development, personal care, so many things we take as an integral part of education. If we really want to showcase India the best possible way, our young tiny tots, the kids, those are going to the schools, they should know how rich is India, how rich the cultural heritage of India. That could be another agenda. We will take it up with Dr. Saklani. We will discuss with the director NCRT. We will also discuss with the National Council for Teacher Education, the member secretary, madam over there. We'll discuss with her also, because all the B.Ed teachers, they should also know little bit fragrance and garnishing of tourism.
Yeah.
This is one subject, it cuts across everybody.
So one of the things that I feel in geography education, so say for example, geography is taught in every school, every college as a core this thing. In geography, if you just have one quiz for every chapter that you read in geography, I think half of the job is done. Because if I have engaged with students in schools where we created quizzes and gave them prizes. They might have checked Google and found some answers. It doesn't really matter. What it really gave them is a food for thought to understand what they are looking at. So geography is one area that in fact I was invited to chair a conference in UK, and I made it a point to go to a person and meet him. He's a person who actually used geography as a important this thing for developing a course on tourism, which was for the tourism frontline workers, whether it is a tourist guide or whether it is any person who is dealing with the tourist, with the information about geography. So the geography really,
ma'am, even geography is very important in airline booking.
Yes,
one should know, because there also the geography comes.
Right. So geography is one starting point that I feel that we should, if we really want to integrate it in the school curriculum, geography questions should be directed towards finding information about your local tourism related opportunities. That makes a lot of sense. At the same time, you're not deviating from the subject. You're not really adding something new to this thing. It's just that you are giving them that as an exercise, and that really gets integrated into this thing. The other thing that we did was create a game. This was a game that we actually worked across the this thing in some of the travel workshops that we do, where we brought in, so you get only 3 chances and less than 2 minutes to really find or spot whatever is being asked for, like what is the state capital of a country or things like that. And so there's like a contest, and you get 10 questions, and like that. It's a very, very fun game, and people like it very much. People participate in it, and there are professional quizzers now who actually work on this. So these 2 mechanisms I have had a chance to really see in real life, and actually make a difference. In fact, some of them came back and said that, I mean, my God, I didn't know that this particular kind of place exists in India. It's so beautiful. So those are the kind of feedback that you get, and I'm dead sure that whenever he would have had the chance, he would go and visit that place. So that's the kind of engagement or the interest that people will have in domestic tourism if we really integrate it into very seamlessly, rather than trying to really force fit it. Because you force something, people really are not acceptable to adopting it. But when you try to really make a small change in the existing this thing without really changing the paradigm, I think the domestic tourism is a must. I mean, in fact, we don't really monitor the domestic tourist so well. That's our problem. Our problem is not that we have a huge amount of domestic tourism, and I can prove that with data. That Nasik Kumbh Mela, I did a study, And I can say that there were almost like 2.5 lakh people that were coming on every snan, and on the Shahi Snan we had more than 5 lakh people coming to the Mela premises,
Yes,
and this
for
is
that
data
matter,
that I've recorded.
for that matter, even Kumbh Mela and couple of others and all that.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. It was wonderful to interact with you. All the wonderful, the participation which have come from people. We have taken your views into consideration, Sakshi, Julie, ma'am, Mohit Chaudhary. We have taken all your views. Tripathi ji, we have taken your views. And we know AR, VR, metaverse, chat GPT, gamification, and of course, bringing domestic tourism importance. All that with the technology will work out in future, and we will take it on. With these words, we convey our deep gratitude and thanks to Engineer Dolly Bhasin, ma'am, SmartEdge head, and she talked about the e-magazine Indian Hospitality and some unknown destination, the travel show on the Doordarshan. We were also deeply associated with Surbhi while being on deputation with the Ministry of Tourism. So much common has come into, and when she mentioned that she had gone for the couple of the programs to UK and other places, I'm reminded Ashok Pradhanji as a DG Tourism, Government of India. 1997, I was gifted with the Fiat Siena car, and I traveled entire India organizing All India Tourism Quiz Contest. It's a wonderful journey, and life is beautiful. India is beautiful. Dekho apna desh with technology adoption. We will work out, we'll plan it out, and we'll move ahead. Thank you very